Hi there, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to recreate this scrollable web page feature on your site. This will be demonstrated in Squarespace 7.1, but is also applicable to Squarespace 7.0. This is great to feature your client projects or to feature your Squarespace templates if you are selling one. On our Squarespace 7.1 site, we can create our columns. So I'll do that by adding two spacer blocks. So you can actually add any number of columns that you need, but in this case, I need one for the text and then another one for where I'll add our scrollable feature. I'll probably want the scrollable feature to be larger in terms of width. And here I will add our image. So the image is a full page screen capture of your website. I've already loaded it into my site, so I'll just click that option. So this will be really long if it's a website homepage. So I'll just click and delete this spacer block, which I just used to define my columns. Just a few more notes on how to generate this full page image. You may opt to use a mockup that you've designed in Adobe XD or so if it's just a personal project that you'd like to feature. So you can create a really long mockup that features the entire homepage and then export it. You can also use Adobe Illustrator. Please make sure that you upload a web optimized size. So you may reduce the size using Photoshop or even options like tiny PNG or so. And then the other option is to use the extension Go Full Page. So for example, if you'd like to feature a live site like this one, which is my template, we just need to click this extension. Again, the name is Go Full Page Screen Capture. And then you can just click on it, and then it will take a while before it captures the entire page. But make sure you are not logged in to your Squarespace account so it can capture the full page. So you have to log out of your Squarespace account, or you can also capture this using an incognito window. So this will be the one that's generated, and then you can download it as a PNG file. So this is that option. And then I recommend that we open this with Adobe Photoshop to reduce its size. So under File, Export, Export As. I would usually reduce its size to around 800 pixels only, or even around 1000 pixels. And then make sure we reduce the quality to around 60%, just so it's web optimized, because it's best to upload images which are less than 500 kilobytes. So just export it and then you'll have that entire image. On the blog post that's linked to this video, I provided the code which we can copy. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it under Design Custom CSS. So I'll just paste it right here, and I have this note to paste the block ID. And we can determine the block ID by using the Google extension Squarespace ID Finder. This is very helpful. So if you're developing Squarespace site, it's best to get this extension. It will work with Chrome and Firefox, I believe. So as soon as you have this icon in your Chrome tab, just click on it and it will reveal the block IDs as well as the section IDs. Then we just need to click on this block ID pop-up and paste it in our custom CSS panel. Notice how it automatically applies all these properties to our chosen block. So you can use this in multiple places within your site. Just make sure you're using the correct block ID. And then I set the height to 500 pixels. Note that this will look different in different browsers, but you can change this value. For example, if you'd like it to be shorter, it can be 400 pixels. But I recommend that you check how changing the browser size will change how it looks. Another option is we can use the VH property, which is relative to the screen height. For example, if I change this to 40 VH, then it will most likely be the same proportion even if I change the browser size. So I recommend that you explore which value would be best for your design. And then we have this overflow Y scroll property, and that's what makes our image scroll. I did set the overflow X property to hidden to make sure it does not scroll horizontally. And then the filter property drop shadow is like a box shadow, and then you can change these values, the offset values as well as the blur radius value. Just explore how changing these will change the appearance of the block. This RGBA code is for the color of our box shadow, so you can change it to something which will blend more with your background. And then this media query is setting our height for our mobile view. So if I click on mobile view, this is how the scrollable web page feature will look like. So you can also adjust the height. And then our next CSS rule will be all about customizing our scroll bar. On the blog post, there's also this snippet which allows us to customize our scroll bar. And I'll just walk you through how each of the CSS rule works. So the WebKit scroll bar, that's the main container, and we just specify that would like the width to be 3 pixels. If I make it 4 pixels, then it will be a bit thicker. Now the height actually is not relevant for our vertical scroll bar. And then the scroll bar thumb background is the color of this moving scroll bar thumbnail. And then the background of this line is this background color white. Again, just explore how changing these values would affect the look of your image block feature. Note that changing or adding the CSS rule will also change the appearance of your main scroll bar. If you only want this to be applied to this block, we need to add the block ID at the front of every selector. So let me just copy this block ID, paste it at the very front of each of this WebKit scroll bar selector. Note that double colon follows each of these block ID. This way our main scroll bar won't be affected. That's how easy it is to add this scrollable feature to your Squarespace website. If you'd like to be updated about more coding and Squarespace tutorials, please subscribe to our channel.